So in this video, we are going to demonstrate how to do an endospore stain. When you're doing an endospore stain, the very first thing that you want to do is turn on your hot plate. You want your hot plate to heat up your beaker of water to the point where it is steaming. You don't need it to be a rolling boil, but you do need to have steam coming off of your beaker. Once you've turned on your hot plate, while you're waiting for things to warm up, you are going to heat fix bacteria to a slide. You're going to do this in the same way that we've talked about before, where you aseptically transfer bacteria into a drop of water, spread it around, and then carefully heat fix it with the Bunsen burner. So to do an endospore stain, you are going to take your heat fixed slide and you are going to set it directly on top of a steaming beaker. The heat is an important part of an endospore stain because it relaxes the outer coating of the endospore to allow the stain to come in. And then when the heat is removed, it actually seals up the endospore. So with an endospore stain, the heat actually acts as your mordant. After you have your slide on top of your beaker, you are going to take a paper towel and fold it into several folds and then place that directly on top of your bacteria. And you are then going to use malachite green and completely saturate the paper towel with the stain. You want to make sure that the whole piece of paper towel is very, very wet and that it has very good connection with the slide underneath. What this is going to do is this is going to help the stain stay directly on top of the cells so that it can seep into those endospores once they get warmed up and relaxed and open. So after you've saturated your paper towel, set a timer, and you are now going to let your slide sit on the steaming beaker for 10 minutes. During this 10 minutes, you want to keep an eye on your slide, and if you see your paper towel starting to get dried out, you want to very carefully reapply stain to the paper towel. You want to keep it wet during the whole 10-minute process. You are allowing your endospore stain to incubate. So after your 10-minute incubation has elapsed, you will then take your slide off of the beaker, and be careful, it will be hot. You are then going to carefully dispose of the paper towel in the trash can. And be careful, they often drip with stain, so carefully dispose of it in the nearest trash can. So after disposing of your paper towel, you are then going to take DI water and you are going to thoroughly rinse your slide. Note that there may be malachite green not only on the top but also the bottom of the slide as well. After you have rinsed your slide off, you are going to counter stain your slide. Malachite green stains the endospores, but then we use safranin to stain the bacterial cells. If there are any vegetative cells still there, this will stain them to a pinkish red. So put lots of safranin on top of the bacterial cells on your slide and let that sit for 1 minute. After 1 minute of incubation, you can rinse your safranin off and then blot your slide dry using bibulous paper and observe your slide underneath the microscope.